So here is our passage number 2, and this passage basically focuses on what? This passage focuses on cetaceans. So a passage based on biology, and if you look at the recent trend, you'd notice that we get a fair bit of passages from science, particularly biology, and within biology too, the focus seems to be more on zoology, as is the case with this particular passage. So let's see. So it talks about whales and dolphins, cetaceans, major new study. The study is first of its kind to create a large data set of cetacean brain, and it mentions 90 different species of dolphins, whales, and porpoises, and the sum total of all of that. And then this particular slide extends the thought further. There are more people cited. Then the next one again extends the thought further and introduces this particular hypothesis that was used, but then some differences between these cetaceans and human beings have been brought out here. And then in this particular paragraph, Dr. Kieran Fox seems to answer an objection that others raise and talks about the real limitation of the study. So easy to read passage per se. If you look at it, apart from the word cetacean, the language was not very challenging. Yes, there were some alien names, but if you are a reasonably good reader, you could have dealt with this passage easily. Okay, so here is the first, the summary of the passage, 519 words, about par for the course. And here is the first question from this passage. What is the main goal of this research according to Dr. Michael Muthukrishna? Now, this requires us to interpret the 9th paragraph in the context of the passage. So, for example, in order to look at that context, we can focus on the 2nd paragraph. 2nd paragraph says a major new study published today in Nature, Ecology and Evolution has linked the complexity of cetacean culture and behavior to the size of their brains. So the focus of the study is the intelligence of cetaceous brain. That helps us eliminate options B and C. And between A and D, you notice the paragraph talks about whales, dolphins and porpoises, more than 90 species of these. It is not restricted to just whales and dolphins, and therefore choosing marine mammals will be better than choosing whales and dolphins. And that is why we'll choose D as our answer to this particular question instead of B. So there you go. That's question number 5 for you. And with that, let's head over to our next question. None of the following is a behavioral similarity shared by cetaceans and humans according to the study, except. So it basically means that one of these studies talks about the similarities that cetaceans have with humans and the remaining 3 do not. So which one? Let's see. Complex vocalization mentioned, vocal mimicry mentioned, interspecies cooperation mentioned, alloparenting mentioned. Alloparenting is care provided by individuals other than parents. And social play, even that is mentioned. So I think the answer should be A, but let's see. How about B? Now when I look at this here, play, the passage mentions social play, which is one particular type of play. B introduces play, making it broader, making it more general, whereas the passage uses a specific term, and therefore B is not as good as A and therefore can be ruled out. C, once again, it has a distortion. The transfer of hunting techniques according to the passage is not genetic but social, and therefore C can also be eliminated. It is anyway wrong. How about D? Once again, just like option B, you notice D says mimicry, whereas the passage actually mentions vocal mimicry. So A is more specific than D. D makes it general, and thus D can also be eliminated, and our best answer for question number 6 is going to be option A. With that, let's move over to our next question. Question number 7. Based on the passage, we can infer that all of the following statements, if true, would weaken the SPH and CBH evolutionary theories, except. So 3 of these will weaken these evolutionary theories, 1 does not, and the one that does not weaken is going to be your answer. So let's see. So first up, let's jog our memory a bit. The passage tells us that the SBH and CBH are evolutionary theories originally developed to explain large brains in primates and land mammals. So the scientists or the researchers argue that large brains are an evolutionary response to complex and information-rich social environment. So that's the crux, right? Now, if I look at A, it says that instead of complex and information-rich social environments leading to larger brains, it is physical ability and ecological adaptation. So definitely weakens the theory. So A, since it weakens, should not be our answer, but let's see. You never know. It all may boil down to comparisons. Okay, B, cetaceans have evolved large brains independently of their social behaviors. Ooh, the theory says it is the complex and information-rich social environment that led to it. It says that, oh, you can have large brains independent of the social environment. Once again weakens. This is true. The theory is flawed. See, the study's sample size is not representative of all cetacean species and behaviors. Okay, if this is true, what does it do? It casts a doubt on the study or on the findings of the study. So it is going to cast a doubt on the findings of the study and not on these theories per se. So it does not weaken. Can be our answer. Let's look at D. The study found that there is a negative correlation between brain size and the complexity of culture and behavior. Oh, this definitely weakens. This states the opposite of what these theories essentially stand for. So as we can see, A, B, and D weaken. C does not weaken the theories but the study. Therefore, that makes C our best answer choice in the context of this particular passage. And with that, let's head into our last question based on the passage. Now, this is a question that I generally call a pure comprehension question. You are given a part of the passage, usually a sentence, and you are asked to interpret it. So in question number 8, if we interpret, A says cetaceans have evolved similar social and cultural characteristics as humans. Now you notice this first half, this entire part is same in all the 4 options. So let's not even bother about it. I'll not even read it. Let's look at the last part. But their lack of thumbs prevents them from mimicking human metropolises and technologies. See, the passage talks about a particular type of thumbs. You remember we have these opposite thumbs that allow us to grip. So they may have thumbs. The concern is that they did not have those opposable thumbs. And therefore, there's a distortion of the passage can be eliminated. How about B? But their physical limitations prevent them from mimicking human metropolises and technologies. Yes, lack of opposable thumb is a physical limitation, so could be our answer. C, their aquatic habitat prevents. Nah, this is not mentioned as a reason, so we can rule out C. But their lack of dexterity. Dexterity is how skilled you are. So if you're skillful, you are dexterous. If you're not skillful, you are not dexterous. So is it lack of dexterity or the lack of a physical feature? And therefore D can also be eliminated. That of course leaves us with B as our answer to this question without any doubt, without any issue in our mind. So make sure that you keep reading more and more stuff on biology so that you are able to deal with it better.